So during the second wave, what we had actually seen was one of the Polygon co-founders, Sandeep Nailwal, say that he's had enough. He can't take it anymore, has to do something. So what he did was appeal to global crypto investors, the global crypto community to donate for India for COVID relief. It's that time when you heard about how Brett Lee gave a donation, Pat Cummins gave a donation, and of course the Ethereum founder made the headlines by giving donations worth $1 billion, not in Ethereum, but in another crypto. Whatever happened to all of that? What kind of relief work is being carried out? And are cryptos so fungible that the India Crypto COVID Relief Fund has been able to buy medical relief? What's the status? That's exactly what I asked the person who started it all, Sandeep Nailwal, who says he's championing relief work for the first time ever in the world on the back of crypto. Here's a conversation we had earlier with him. Many of you would have heard of the India Crypto Relief Fund. How could you not have? The Ethereum co-founder actually donated more than $1 billion to this fund. He donated it in crypto. It is the largest personal donation that has come in for India's fight against coronavirus. The person who started this fund, the person who has put all of the resources together, is mobilizing those in the crypto world to come and help out India, is now joining us here on this edition of Startup Central. He happens to also be the co-founder of Polygon, in which Mark Cuban recently invested, but today he's going to talk to us about this personal initiative of his, India Crypto Relief Fund. Sandeep, welcome to ET Now. Thank you so much for joining us. I want to begin my question first by asking you, you have the Ethereum founder giving such a large donation, almost $1.5 billion in crypto. This is to fight coronavirus. What we need, are medicines, we need vaccines. In rural India, of course, there's already this talk of how concentrators need to be moved. Do we have enough hospital beds? My first question to you, and what many people want to know is, आपके पास $1 billion से ज़्यादा आ गया crypto में. But how will you use that for India's fight against corona? Because is crypto fungible into real money?
Yeah. So I'll give you a brief background also on what exactly is this $1 billion that he donated. So it was donated in a meme coin. So it is a highly speculative meme coin that came out, and that meme coin team had a strategy to give him 50% of those entire tokens and all that. And it was lying in his wallet. He said that, okay, you are trying to involve me into this. So he started, sending that meme coin to various charities. So he sent the biggest allocation to us because we are also Ethereum community members. We are building, as Polygon, we are building Ethereum scaling solution. So, he donated a large chunk to us. But I have to say that, on the day he sent, it was somewhere around $1 billion. But then, as I said, that it's highly speculative. Crypto markets are highly, again, volatile. It's already 50% down. So it's not real $1 billion. It's a $1 billion in that currency. However, we have already converted somewhere around $150 million into stable coins. In crypto, we call them stable coins. Means that, now they are converted into a crypto version of USD, which can be now converted into, actual USD. And that also is a significant amount, like $150 million we have converted. We are converting more. I think by the end of it, we'll be able to convert maybe $300 million or all that, which is also sizable amount of money. So the idea and how, coming to your main question, that how this money is actually fungible into the real world and how it will help India, is that, so there are two ways to do it, right? One way is directly bring this crypto into India and, sell this USDT or this stable coin in Indian exchanges and bring it to a bank account, and from there give it to someone. But that's very, highly problematic area. Reason being that when you bring that, and this crypto is a simple address, right? A lot of people are donating into it. It's very hard to KYC everyone. Maybe we can KYC the bigger ones, but the smaller players, there is no way to KYC them. And people are not asking for tax benefits on that. So nobody is doing the KYC over there. So it's hard to kind of do all the kind of background verification, all that. So the idea is not to bring the money directly into India, but instead of that, we created a vehicle out of India in UAE, and we convert those stable coins into this entity's bank account. So it comes into the bank account in dollars in this entity's account, and from there we donate into FCRA approved NGOs. FCRA is a certification that Indian government gives to the NGOs where they are eligible to receive donations from out of India, right? So, and they have a very highly regulated account. There's only one bank branch in India, I think in Delhi, close to Parliament, where the money comes, and then from there it goes to the NGOs, and then NGOs. We have a large volunteer team, more than I think 1,000 people now, and they collaborate with various these ground level demands, and then connect them with the NGOs, and then NGOs make the payments to them. So that's how so when the money is coming into India, it's coming in to the regulated bank accounts in bank dollars from an entity which is opened by me. So I am happy to provide all my KYC that, okay, this is how I got it. The wallets are very transparently public. The larger donators can be KYC'd upon. The smaller one, people are donating $100, $200. That we can't really, this thing. But 99% of this, more than 95% of this would be easily identifiable who did it. So I am providing the KYC, and in India, the crypto is not touching India.
Okay.
Actually, in India, this is directly coming into the bank account.
So, when you had the Ethereum founder Vitalik, who, donated almost $1 billion, and like you said, very speculative, it may not be worth even that much anymore. You've talked about other donations also which have come in. We obviously know about that one. Can you tell us about others who have donated, or the kind of donations that have been coming into this fund?
Yeah. So apart from this $150 million that came in this speculative, token, apart from the $1 billion, which is now is being slowly converted, I think the other amount is somewhere around $10 million. And that came from various people, some of them very known people in the industry, founders of various companies and all that. And my plan was previously that later on to go to each founders, because we know almost every one of them, and ask them to donate into India individually. But then now it is not required, because money is this already this speculative coin investment is already pretty big, or the donation is already pretty big. So but apart from this, there was around $10 million roughly that came into this COVID relief fund. That also is again very sizable fund, considering it has started by individually me, and then within this 10 million we had received within, I think, the first 3-4 days, 5 days, maybe 10 days. Imagine somebody doing this kind of fund, by opening an account or something like that. It's a really, really long process. Here, in a matter of no time, we were able to raise this much fund, and that's the power of crypto. And that's what government also needs to understand, that eventually the world is going to move there. Initially when e-commerce came in, people thought that, oh no, this will be limited to these categories and that categories, but now e-commerce is everywhere. Similarly, because the efficiencies will drive the markets towards the better technology, and I think crypto is that global technology which is going to take over. I have no doubts about that.
I'm sure you don't have any doubts about that. That's exactly what you're working on. And, one day I hope to have you back on ET Now to talk about how crypto is not just about speculative currency, but to talk to you about blockchains as well, and how blockchains have to have a token. But let's keep that for another day. Today I want to talk to you about your personal relief fund that you're doing as far as COVID-19 goes. Sandeep, I want to talk a little more about this convertibility which takes place. So you're saying, you're handling the KYC. It's not possible to do it for every individual person. There are no tax benefits also that you see in the non-metaverse. But if I could just ask you that from that 1 billion or the 1.1 total, how much has come to India now? How much has been converted? What has it been used for? And how do you also provide accountability to those who are donating? They also will want to know, okay, what is happening with their tokens? What is happening with their money?
Yeah. So see, like, as I said that before this $1 billion, notional amount came in, we had around $10 million in the account. And, like, because of this, like converting it into bank account and then putting into the NGOs, it already is a longer process. So we were in total, like, I think we have processed around $3 to $4 million only, like around 20-30 crores that has come into India till now. And all the other amount, because this is a very big amount, and where to deploy, how to deploy, and by the time the wave also like taper down a bit. So now we are focusing on slightly longer term preventive mechanisms, like how we can help government for, let's say, vaccinations, like how, because we don't want to work in silo with we want to work with the government, like a public private partnership or something like that. We're talking to various NGOs and countries, co-founders. A lot of co-founders and founders of a lot of startups are doing that. So we're trying to collaborate with them who have these NGOs, approved NGOs. We donate into them, and then they can for example, buy vaccines, and we can collaborate with them, with our volunteer team, to disperse them on the ground. So till now, I think very small, because our core fund was like around $8 to $10 million, right? So we converted around $8 million out of that, and then I think we have deployed $3 to $4 million already. The exact stats I need to see. And what we do is we transparently, whenever we are converting into stable, or we are converting from stable into bank accounts, we make a public announcement about it on the Twitter. I also tweet about it from my public account, and then we have a website where we also keep posting these screenshots of everything, that okay, this money came here, this amount was moved to this, currently the bank holds this, everything is there. And we also have in the previous tweets, we have tweeted about the screenshots, and it's again like very, very open. Like, we are very happy to, like, whenever any government agency comes in, we are very happy to share the the complete bank details, whatever it is. Even the bank is also a crypto friendly bank, FB Bank. A big shout out to them. Without them, it would have been very difficult. And like, complete transparency on that. Like, we want to make sure that even a single penny out of this is fully tracked. So once it comes into the regulated NGOs, though they already have their reporting parameters and all that with the government. I think it can come up with them. So from our side, what we do is we do the due diligence of the NGOs. We try to contact people on the ground, what kind of effort this particular NGO is doing. If they are doing good and have a good track record, then we kind of donate into them. So a lot of people reach out to us and want to sort of ask us that how. Ask us for donations for the efforts they are doing. We do the due diligence. If they are good, we end up collaborating with them. But now with this big amount, like, maybe we should
So how much have you converted so far
to stable coins? Yeah, the stable coins.
Go ahead. You were saying something.
Yeah, I was saying that.
I was wondering that out of what you've received, how much you've converted to US dollar?
We have converted around $160 million, which would be like almost 1,200 crores or something like that. It's a pretty big amount. We now, with this kind of amount, we do want to, we are considering that should we have a permanent establishment in India, that means directly have a COVID relief fund. We are also discussing that, should we have more longer term things, like even after vaccination, should we sort of invest in some sort of genealogy research institute, right, which helps government to identify trends and all that, because right now, this kind of cycle, this virus mutated, and nobody has any clue that this is going to become this serious. So can we have the top talent in a specialized research institute in India? There are various angles we are working with, like in this wave, like a lot of doctors have had their doctors have mental issues. Nobody is talking about it, but then my brother-in-law is a doctor. I know, he sent me a kind of a clip where he's talking to another doctor, and he's crying on the phone because he had, like, he's saying that in the last 7 days, I had to tell, I don't know, maybe 50 plus families that their loved one has not survived and all that. And it's a big meltdown situation for those doctors. So we are even thinking, like, some of our volunteers are working with, let's say, there is an organization with Sanjeev Kapoor who kind of, prepare very nice food from Taj and all that, right? And then they deliver it to the doctors, like, so that they feel appreciated about it and all that. So a lot of different things we are looking to, kind of invest this amount into. And then again, very open to discussing with government also where this fund can be deployed, and, in a public-private partnership, that would be.
Have you reached out to the government? You also call your, if anyone was to go on the Twitter handle, they will see how you call this the blockchain of love. Have you discussed that with the government?
We have kind of, talked to few organizations which are like kind of extended arms of the government. Like, for example, we have worked with the Kuwait embassy, which to bring in, the oxygen cylinders from Kuwait using Indian Navy ship, and like a lot of initiatives like that for for sourcing oxygen plant, with a particular local government agency. We are also, like in Delhi, for example, our volunteers were working with something to help with MCD, Delhi Police, and all that. But then we have not discussed with the central, agency or central government team regarding this till now. Like, also, like, there have been some attempts. People have been trying to connect us with maybe our finance minister and things like that, but those things have not materialized yet because we don't have a direct channel. But we are more than happy, like, if somebody can make those connections.
Can you share with us till Friday, May 28th, how many concentrators, or just in quantitative terms, how you have been able to help India with the relief aid?
Like, it would be hard for me. I don't have a back of the hand updated number on that. But then, the like very rough numbers would be like oxygen cylinders, for example. You would have, brought in at least like 5,000 oxygen cylinders, the bigger ones. And then concentrators, we have, I think concentrators, I'm yet to see, like, one of my team members is working on a large, 5,000 to 6,000 concentrators.
Sandeep, you've made this a personal initiative to come and, galvanize resources from the crypto world to help India in its war against coronavirus. Is it a precedent of this? Did you see someone else doing it? Is this your brainwave? And therefore, is it a precedent that has been now laid down for the crypto world on how to help countries?
Yeah, I think there have been, like, the people have thought about doing it, but no one really did that before. I think this sets a new precedent, and I think more and more such things will happen when a particular, calamity strikes any particular country. I think this has set up a very nice precedent, and I hope that this happens more and more. I faintly recall some people trying to help, like, people in Russian, Middle East and all that, but then none of them picked up this distraction.
Okay. Sandeep, what I found fascinating, what you were talking to me about, was that even after the emergency situation, the absolute war-like situation passes, and we are seeing the coronavirus cases fall significantly. Look at the positivity rate also coming down the way it has been. You would like to use these resources for whether, just future research, laboratories, and vaccination. How can it be? How can you help? How can the India Crypto Relief Fund help in getting everybody vaccinated?
Yeah, so we are looking to collaborate with few state governments where discussions are happening on the early stages, various NGOs, and main thing we want to do over there is that we want to sort of give these funds, especially use these vaccinations for the poor people, like especially when they don't have the luxury to stay at home, they have to go out, they have to earn money for their livelihood. So the focus would be to vaccinate as many people as possible, especially in the poor areas, and especially young people who can continue their bread activities and all that in the market. So that's the main thing. And apart from the vaccination, there are also speculations of third wave. So in the third wave, there is a very high speculation that children And I was getting some stats from some doctors, and they were saying that the number of pediatric ventilators is very small compared to the larger number of our ventilators. So that is also going to be one important like attempt area from our side to get ventilators, because oxygen concentrators are only helpful in the mild cases which are kind of escalating. But once the case escalates, then ventilators are also very important. Like for one particular hospital, we had sent them 7 ventilators, and they gave us so many thanks after that, because they had some spare ventilators. Otherwise they had to take a decision that okay, out of their 35 bed ICU, whether if some person situation is escalating, they have to take out someone else to put this guy, and they have to take those decisions whether it's a young guy, he survives and all that. Now they have spare capacity, the ventilators. So pediatric ventilators and all that would also be a very important this thing, apart from the vaccination. And for vaccination, we need to we are very clear that we need to partner with the government, because India's vaccination, like we have fought these diseases like polio and TB in the past year very successfully. Our vaccination network of government of India is really, really strong, and we want to partner with the government on that to in whatever way. Maybe if we can help by directly contributing the money, or we directly acquiring vaccinations, and then have our volunteer force deliver out to the areas where the where the reachability is not that great. So we are open to all the scenarios over there.
Okay. With that, Sandeep, thank you so much for joining us today to take us through what exactly it is that the India Crypto Relief Fund is doing. This is the first of its kind of a movement you've seen in the crypto world, where resources have been galvanized to help a country fight a crisis.